What's the good word, gentlemen, viewers? It's your boy Hated. You already know why I'm here. Episode 10, Koutetsujou no Kabaneri. Just watched it. These last 3 episodes in sequence, I don't know if it's because at the end of a Koutetsujou is the boiler, so it would get warmer on the thing the closer you got to it. I don't know what's going on. But these last 3 episodes have been fire. Just pure heat. If you have not watched episode 10, go watch it now. If you've not watched 8, 9, go watch it now. You need to see them now. Pause the video, go watch the episodes, then come back here. Where do I even begin? Where do I begin? Let's go ahead and start with a pivotal scene here. No. Let's not start there. I just lied. Let's start with what happens in this episode. It takes place again right after what happened in the last episode. So in it we see Ikoma, after being rendered unconscious in a cage. Right? This episode it's chock full with symbolism. And a lot of this probably went over a lot of people's heads. Hell, there's probably parts of this episode that went over mine. Comment below, let me know if you know of any. But for starters, Ikoma again starts off in a cage. You know, all the people from the original Koutetsujou are basically. It looks very much like an internment camp where they had the people with different colored armbands, and they were essentially being milked like cattle. Except instead of giving milk, they were giving blood. You see some of them that are actually working with the liberators now. And of course, the people are looking at them as if they're traitors of some sort. Because the liberators are expanding force. They're an army. So any army, I don't care what era, I don't care what form of military, whether it be land or naval, because even pirates did this. When you take a ship, when you take a train, when you take over an enemy force, you will take what you can of that force to make your own stronger. And there's a lot of talented and skilled people in the Koutetsujou. And they figured, why not take one of them and bring them on their team? I don't want to spoil what happened in this episode because I really want you to watch it. But basically, a lot of okie dokes happen. A lot of mental planning happens. We see people, again, stripped of all of the things they've accumulated throughout the series in terms of the comforts that they had become accustomed to on the Koutetsujou. The friendships and the relationships that they developed amongst each other as people stuck on the Koutetsujou in the same predicament. A lot of that is stripped away from these people, so they're almost starting anew. You start to see people looking at other people in a different light. I really want to talk about this scene. There is a scene with Ikoma and Biba, and in this scene, again, if you have not watched the episode, this is going to be a spoiler, but I have to talk about it. I'm going to make it as indirect and spoiler free as possible, but I have to talk about it. There is a scene where Ikoma loses someone very close to him. That person is taken from him by Biba. Even though Biba wasn't intentionally trying to take that person. Biba was actually trying to take Ikoma. Or the person steps in front to save Ikoma because that person is Ikoma's... you know what I'm saying? They're close. That's his right hand. And following that loss, what does Ikoma lose? He literally loses his right hand. I couldn't make this stuff up to you. Like, it's very well done, very well thought out. And just even the scenery with what happens on the Koutetsujou, on that train, where the doors open and the sunlight, the sunlight from the sunset comes in. So again, things are coming to an end. You're losing your right hand. This episode is so good. Again, Munez's character comes to light here. She really shines in this. A lot of the things I was saying in the last episode come true as well. She's questioning Biba. She doesn't trust this dude. She might legitimately be scared of him now, actually. And she's put in a predicament where she has to choose. It is one of those things that every young person has to do as they get older. You start realizing you have to make choices, and the choices aren't simple. They're not. You're being forced to make a black and white choice but the choice doesn't seem black to white to you. It's like Biba puts her in a predicament. It's like, you either choose me or you choose those people from the Koutetsujou. And in her mind, she's like, well, she doesn't want to choose one or the other. She wants both of them, but she can't have both of them. She has to choose one. Who are her allegiances going to be? With these people she just met and she's gotten close with and learned a lot from, or with the man who essentially taught her how the world works and saved her and made her into what she is now? Decisions, right? We also find out through a conversation that apparently male Kabaneri are rare. I didn't know this. I mean, it makes sense. We've only seen 3. And the original 2 we saw, one was a male and one was female. And then the moment we're introduced to another Kabaneri was another female. So there's no other male Kabaneri that we've seen that we've been alerted to. Who knows? Kourusu's missing, and with that happen, with what happened to him at the end of that last episode, if he survives, man might come up as a Kabaneri. I doubt it. He's strong enough where he could find a way to survive if he does survive. And then there's Biba, who's very weird. He's conducting experiments not only on the Kabane but on the Kabaneri as well, with what he did to Hobori, I believe her name was, in the last episode, that made her a man-made Kabane colony. So there's the natural ones that we saw in the previous episode, and then you find out you can make a man-made one. The man-made ones, they haven't perfected it yet, so they kind of disintegrate and fall apart and then fall into some other being, which is what we saw in episode 9. So he's doing experiments on the Kabaneri and the Kabane. He possibly has done something to himself. That might be partially why he was abandoned by his father. Also, Biba again is, like I said, a deeper character. We find out what happened with him and his father. He isn't 100% in the wrong anymore. Even as evil as this man is, and all the sinister things he does, when you hear the man's backstory, it clicks. It makes sense. What his father did to him was evil, and he wants to pay his father back. I could understand that. This episode, I guess the theme is that everything isn't black or white. You're not either human or Kabane. You can be a Kabaneri. You're not either strong or weak. You can be Ikoma, who's someone who relates with the weak, but is literally fighting for his right to survive, fighting for everyone else's right to survive, and fighting for the principles he believes in. Well, those are attributes of a strong person. And then there's Biba, who clearly is able to finesse and inflict his will and desires on the world around him. That's another characteristic of a strong person. But again, what he's doing is, are evil people innately weak? Who knows? That's up for you to decide. The world isn't that simple in some situations. In most situations it is, but not in the ones that the show is talking about. And we see that over and over again. Biba, he is the villain of the show, but I can't see him as that. He is a product of his circumstance. You know, that you people are what they are. They are what you are, what you're genetically made of, and you are what you experience and grow up through and go through. So Biba is no different from that. There's only 2 episodes left. Only 2. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how they're gonna finish this all in 2 episodes. It's impossible. This has to come back. It can't be just 12 episodes and done. There has to be a season 2. And if there isn't, I'm livid. I will campaign. I will petition. I don't care. Especially with how this episode ended. Especially with how it ended. With what happened to Ikoma. What happened with Munez. The fate of everyone else on that on the train. Is Kourusu alive? Like, we don't know any of these things. Ayame, what is Ayame gonna do? What's her reaction gonna be to all of this? It's ironic to me as well. Biba seems to be highly intelligent because he tells Munez that he will not harm the people on the train as long as they remain peaceful. And he tells her this, and it seemed like he knew that wouldn't even be the case. And no less than when he said this, their plan of action goes into phase. It's like, how did he know? And then he even hints at Ikoma that he knew that if Ikoma was going to make a plan of escape, it would be on the day that he did. And this character, Biba he's a problem, dude. He's a problem. Again, 10 out of 10 episode. There's no flaw. I have no complaints about this episode. There's so much I didn't even talk about. I just don't want to be here all day and spoil stuff for you. Leave your comments below theories below. If you found anything, any other symbolism that I may have missed, comment below. If you have different interpretations of things, if you have questions, if you have insight that you want to give me, comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video. The subscribe really matters the most to me, but like it if you like. If you like it. You know, spread the word to your friends. And as always, this is your boy Hated. Peace.